Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I will present my analysis about the Harvard Business School case. The title is Formula One, Unleashing the Greatest Racing Spectacle on the Planet. So, when people hear about Formula One, they usually think about maybe fast cars, famous driver like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton, and exercise and yeah, however, Formula One is the much more than a motorsport competition. It's a global entertainment. Yeah, it's like global entertainment business, a technology platform, and one of the most complex international operation in the world. So by 2019, Formula One attracted 4.2 million spectators across 21 Grand Prix. It's generate cumulative television. I think yeah, cumulative television audience by 1.9 billion viewers and built social media and following over 25 million people worldwide. So in this presentation, I will discuss, yeah, like usually, I will discuss three main topics. For the first, how Formula One creates an attractive live experience and media engagement. The second is the operational and marketing complexity of Formula One global supply chain. And the third is my critical opinion on whether Formula One's cost cap strategy can secure that. No, can secure the sport long-term future. So one of the most impressive achievement of Formula One is its ability to attract billions of fans, yeah, million of fans, and to race a circuit despite the availability of television broadcast and online content. In 2019, Formula One recorded a total audience of total 4.2 million people across 21 races, with an average attendance of more than 200 and 2,000 spectators per race weekend. And the racer, Great Britain, Australia, and Mexico each attracts more than maybe 300,000 fans. The question is, why are so many people willing to spend time and money to attend a 3-day event? And the answer is Formula One is no longer sells only a race; it sells an experience. And the first strategy that is transforming a race weekend into entertainment festival. Formula One recognized that modern fans want more than 2 hours of racing on Sunday. Therefore, every Grand Prix become a 3 days spectacle featuring concerts, fan zones, exhibition, interactive activities, merchandise store, food experience, and opportunities to meet drivers and teams. And for example, Formula One organized a free exhibition showcasing famous cars from James Bond movies. It's also uh, held fan festival in cities such as Shanghai, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Sao Paulo, bringing the excitement of Formula One directly into urban areas. The festival include a live music performance, F1 car demonstration, and live broadcast of qualifying session. And the second strategy is creating exclusive experience. Yeah, Formula One is offer premium such premium products such as the Paddock Club, where guests can enjoy luxury hospitality service and interact with team and sponsor. And in 2019, Paddock Club ticket sales increased by 7% to 80,000 tickets. Another example is the F1 Pirelli Hot Laps program, where fans can experience a high-speed lap around circuit, a supercar driven by a professional driver. So this experience costs around $5,000, demonstrating that Formula One successfully creates high-value experience for different market segments. And the third strategy is extending fan engagement beyond the racetrack. So Formula One understand that younger audience consume content differently. So many fans do not want to watch a 2 hour race. Instead, they uh, prefer short videos, behind the scene content, social media clips, and maybe podcast or gaming experience and interactive platform. To address this shift, Formula One launched multiple digital products, including F1 TV, the F1 Fantasy League, the F1 Sports Series, podcast, and social media content. It's also a partner with Netflix to create Drive to Survive, a documentary series that reveals the personalities, conflict, and stories behind the sport. So the strategy humanized the driver and teams, making Formula One more accessible to younger and more diverse audience. And then finally, Formula One used data to improve fan experience, and the organization is analyze social media conversation, television ratings, fan movement, pattern inside race venues, and even emotional response during broadcast. The insights help Formula One understand what fans enjoy most and optimize future event. Yeah, so in short, Formula One attracts millions of spectators because it has evolved from a sporting event to a global entertainment ecosystem. And then we talk about the global supply chain of racing. So, Formula One is often called a traveling circus, and for good reason. Yeah, every 2 weeks, Formula One move an enormous amount of equipment, technology, and personnel of the no, as personnel from one country to another. And the championships consist of 21 races held across multiple continents between March and November. And behind every race are thousands of people working together. Each team employs between 600 and 900 staff members, while around 60 engineers and technicians travel to each race weekend. Formula One must transport race cars, spare parts, creature, broadcasting equipment, hospitality facilities, tires, and support system across the world. And the complexity is enormous because every race has a unique requirements. So uh, different tracks require different, like maybe car configuration, weather condition vary significantly between countries' regulation, custom procedure, and local infrastructure also differ from one location to another. And cars often need to be redesigned or rebuilt depending on the circuit characteristic. And promoters are responsible for handling custom clearance and transporting equipment from airports and ports to the race venue, while Formula One ensure that all teams and materials arrive on schedule. And then for unexpected disruption create additional challenge. The case mentioned that 2019 Japanese Grand Prix was partially cancelled because of a typhoon. Despite this disruption, Formula One still managed to maintain strong attendance and television performance. And from a marketing perspective, Formula One also faced the challenge of creating a consistent global brand while adapting to local cultures. Fans in Europe, Asia, Africa, North America is have different preference and expectation. Therefore, Formula One combines a standardized global product with local experience. And for example, like each Grand Prix incorporates local culture, entertainment, and partnership while maintaining the same core identity of speed, innovation, and competition. Another major challenge is sustainability. Formula One has historically been criticized for its environmental impact because extensive global travel and high fuel consumption. To address this concern, Formula One announced its goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2030. This commitment demonstrates that long-term success depends not only on operational efficiency but also on environmental responsibility. Yeah, for overall Formula One supply chain is one of the most sophisticated example of global operation management. And then from my critical analysis, I will focus on Formula One introduction of the cost cap. Before 2021, Formula One had no spending limits. As a result, a wealthy team such as Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull consistently outperform smaller teams because they could invest hundreds of millions of dollars more in research and development. For our consecutive season, just three teams dominated the constructor championship. In 2019, the team budget ranged from approximately $132 million for Williams and $484 million for Mercedes. So this financial imbalance created two problems. For the first, race become yeah like predictable. Second, a smaller team struggled financially, with several teams filing for bankruptcy since 2014. To address that issue, Formula One introduced a cost cap of $175 million per season, beginning in 2021, excluding driver salaries, marketing expense, and the salaries of the top three executives. So, in my opinion, the cost cap is the one of the most important decisions in Formula One's modern history. So, I support this strategy for three reasons. For the first, maybe it creates a fairer competition by reducing the financial advantage of wealthier teams. And then the second, it improve the long-term financial sustainability of smaller teams. And the third is more competitive race, encourage fan engagement, which strengthens the entire Formula One business ecosystem. However, the cost cap is not a perfect solution. Large teams still have advantage in experience, infrastructure, brand value, and talent acquisition. Therefore, Formula One must continue improving technical regulation and revenue sharing system to ensure the competitive balance. And ultimately, fans care about uncertainty and excitement. As seen, Brad started, if the on-track product is not compelling, every other aspect of the business will suffer. So in conclusion, Formula One's transformation demonstrates how traditional sports can evolve to into global entertainment ecosystem. Formula One attracts millions of fans because it delivers more than racing. It creates impressive experience through live events, digital contents, gaming documentaries, and personal engagement. At the same, Formula One managers, no, it's Formula One manage one of the world's most complex global supply chains, moving people, technology, and equipment across continents while adapting to local markets and environmental challenges. Finally, the introduction of the cost cap represents an important step forward in ensuring the sport's long-term sustainability by promoting fairer competition and stronger fan engagement. Yeah, so Formula One's success proves that in today's world, winning is not only about performance on the track, it's also about innovation, fan experience, operational excellence, and the ability to continuously adapt to the change.